Good morning, everyone. My name is Gian, and today I'll be talking about indirectness, politeness, and interaction in Indonesian culture, specifically from a linguistic perspective. Not only we are going to discuss indirectness and politeness, but also what differ between Indonesian and English-speaking cultures. First, let's talk about indirectness. Indonesian communication is considered high context. People tend to be indirect, where a lot of meaning is carried not just by words, but in tone, gesture, and shared understanding. Instead of being blunt, Indonesians often hint or imply. For example, instead of saying, "Saya tidak suka ini," or "I don't like this," they may say, "Mungkin bisa coba yang lain," or "Maybe we can try something else." Here an example of it. Mungkin ibunya lagi banyak pikiran. Maybe she have a lot in her mind. This helps avoid confrontation or making the other person uncomfortable. It's not just being fake, it's being considerate. Now, let's compare it with English-speaking cultures, like the United States or Australia. People tend to be more direct. If they don't like something, they'll probably say so clearly. Something like, "Sorry, I don't like this." It is not considered rude. It is honest and straightforward. Next is politeness. Politeness is shown through not just through words, but also through choice of pronouns, expressions, and tone. Gue ketawa, reflect. Maafin, tapi setidaknya sudah berusaha, ya. I laugh, but it's a reflect. Forgive me. At least you have already tried. This is an example of politeness. Now, let's look at how we address each other. In Indonesian, people use titles like Bapak, Ibu, Mas, and Mbak. These show respect based on age, social status, or familiarity. They are used often even with strangers. For example, "Permisi Mbak," or "Excuse me Miss," when asking for help from a shopkeeper. In many situations, you might never hear a person's actual name. Just the title is enough. In English-speaking cultures, titles like Mr., Mrs., Miss, or Doctor exist, but they're mostly for formal occasions. In daily life, especially in modern or Western workplaces, people often go straight for their first name. It's very common to say, "Hi John," instead of "Mr. John." That doesn't mean they're being rude. It's a sign of informality and equality. Oh, we also soften our statements, using words like "maaf," "sorry," "permisi," "excuse me," or "mungkin," "maybe," throughout our daily speeches. And very importantly, we rarely say no directly. In Indonesian culture, people often avoid saying no directly. Why? Because it might embarrass or disappoint the other person. Instead of tidak or no, we might say, "Mungkin lain kali," "Maybe next time," "Saya pikir-pikir dulu," "I will think about it," to avoid being too direct or sounding rude. It softens the refusal and keeps the relationship smooth. But in English-speaking cultures, a direct no is more acceptable. It is seen as honest, not offensive. For example, "Sorry, I can't join you," or "No thanks, I'm not interested." Of course, tone and politeness still matter, but the no is still there. In English-speaking cultures, saying no directly is normal and often appreciated as being honest or decisive. Now, here are an example of both indirectness and politeness. Bisa jadi respon mereka bisa aja ngasih, tapi kamu anggap mereka nggak suka. Mungkin sebenarnya mereka juga canggung sama kamu yang pendiam. Menurutku nggak ada pendiam atau nggak pendiam sih. Ya emang nggak cocok aja, atau salah nangkep aja gitu antara kalian. As you can see, the individual uses Bisa jadi, perhaps, mungkin, maybe. And menurutku, or I guess, the person is being indirect to ensure that his personal opinion is polite and does not embarrass or being rude towards the context. Moving on, in daily interactions, Indonesians also show politeness. In Indonesia, people usually take turns carefully. They pause before answering. They might even smile or laugh to soften a serious moment. And silence? It's not uncomfortable. It can mean respect or agreement. People also tend to agree or stay silent in public to maintain rukun or harmony, even if they are privately disagree. On the other hand, in English-speaking cultures, conversation move faster. People respond quickly, and long pauses might seem like hesitation or confusion. Silence is avoided. It might be seen as disagreement or awkwardness. So again, it's about different interpretations of the same behavior. These communication patterns don't come from nowhere but reflect from cultural values. In Indonesia, the key values include rasa malu, avoiding embarrassment, hormat, showing respect, and rukun, keeping harmony. In contrast, English-speaking cultures often value individualism, clarity and confidence, and honesty and self-expression. So being direct is encouraged, not to hurt others, but to be efficient and truthful. It tends to reflect values of individualism, assertiveness, and clarity. In conclusion, Indonesian and English-speaking cultures communicate in a very different ways, but neither is wrong. They just reflect different values. Indonesian communication may seem vague or indirect to outsiders, but it is actually rich in social meaning. It prioritizes harmony, respect, and subtlety, while English communication emphasizes clarity, honesty, and independence. So in Indonesia, it is a careful balance of being polite, respectful, and maintaining harmony, both in what we say and what we don't say. Understanding these patterns helps us communicate more effectively and respectfully in Indonesian society. Thank you for listening. I hope this video provided you with valuable insight, and I'll see you again in the next video. Cheers.